Hey, Shalom, I want to start off source by giving no praise to Yahweh Shem Shah B'Shem Kadash, that belongs to the apostles of GMS and honesty brothers in the work of the Most High in truth and sincerity. It's a quick one. I'm inspired of. I was just watching some comedy, and you hear these comedians basically making mockery of the Most High. This particular comedian said at the end of the joke, "Well, I'll tell God to f off." And I'm listening to that. I was like, right, hey, the Lord actually put it in his mouth to frame those words, right? Which basically shows, because I was up in the middle of this video before, then I ended up having technical difficulties. There's a precept I wanted to get, right? Because hey, the scriptures say this, man. This is Matthew 12:36. But I'll say unto you that every idle word that men shall speak, they shall give account thereof in the day of judgment, right? Because hey, the Lord actually lets people mock him, lets people mock his prophets. Hey, lets people kill his prophets. Hey, he let these Romans, these wicked ass Jakes, kill his beloved son. Right? But guess what? The Lord has we just read it. But I say unto you that every idle word that men shall speak, they shall give account thereof in the day of judgment. So these people, they believe they've gotten away with these jokes, these statements, but all you've done is mock yourself. You played yourself. As they say on the streets, hey, you played yourself, homie. Right? It says Psalms 14:1 says, the fool has said in his heart there is no God. They are corrupt. They have done abominable works. There is none that doeth good. Okay? So only a fool is going to say there is no God, especially a quote educated person, because one thing I've never understood is how you can study something like biology and then draw the conclusion that there is no God, that there is no, even if you don't want to say God, there is no higher being. Right? You think about your ear, the very fact that you can hear this this video, my voice works off of three little bones in your ear. The very fact you can balance is to do with fluid in your ear, right? When you think about things like that, it's like, how can there not be a higher power if you don't want to refer to it as the Most High? Right? But obviously we, with the understanding of these scriptures, we know there's a Most High. Right? We look at Esau's proof there's a Most High. Right? Because this man is the perfect devil. Right? And you read Genesis 1, you have says, and the power saw that it was good. Right? And you also read Sirach, says all the works of the Lord are exceeding good. Right? And what is that going in? It's going in the fact that when the Most High makes something, he makes it to its perfection. He makes it to fulfill its purpose. Right? Now, these particular individuals that are going around making mockery of the Most High, the Lord lets them make mockery, but they're just fulfilling their purpose. Because the men of the Lord were listening to them, we're like, whoa, 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 whoa. Hey, man, hey, you laugh now, but the Lord is going to have the last laugh. The Lord is going to judge you for them certain statements as we just read. Okay? And then also, we just quote Ecclesiastes 8:11, says, because sentence against an evil work is not executed speedily. Therefore, the heart of the sons of men is fully set in them to do evil. Okay, so now this makes me think of an analogy that I always use. You touch a hot plate, right? You're cooking something, you touch a hot plate, still hot, you burn your hand, you remove your hand quickly. Oh shit! Excuse my French. I was like, oh man, that hurt. I've been burnt. Now, if you don't feel that pain straight away, what are you gonna do? You're just gonna keep on leaning on that hot plate. But all this time, your hand is withering away. Your hand is burning, right? And then you feel the pain. Then you're like, oh man, I need to take my hand off. But by this point, your hand is messed up. You can't use your hand anymore, right? Now, spiritually, that's what these people are doing, right? They're not getting that chastisement. So guess what? They just carry on doing what they're doing. They carry on doing things that are to their spiritual destruction, right? To their spiritual decay. In fact, we can get that in the precepts actually as well. Let me hold. Whoops. Let me hold on to that. I might want to come back to it. What was this? This is in one in Hebrews. Hebrews 12 and 6 and 5, right? It says, and ye have forgotten the exhortation which speaketh unto you as unto children. My son, despise not thou the chastening of the Lord, nor faint when thou art rebuked of him. For when the Lord loveth, for whom the Lord loveth, he chasteneth and scourgeth every son whom he receiveth. So for us in this truth, that's why you might see someone in the world, he's a chronic adulterer, right? Everyone knows that this guy's a chronic adulterer, but for the most part, everything just works for him. In fact, the demons work with him, and he's constantly getting a supply of adulterous vagina. Okay, and you might be looking like, yo, shit, this man ain't nothing happening to him, right? But that's because the Most High don't care about him, right? Us in the truth, we do something small, whatever, what have you, and then you feel like you've got the scope pay on you. You just you feel like there's a hit on you, man, because like, yo, the Lord can mess me up for this small thing that I've done, right? Let's not even get into the realms of adultery. If a brother was to do that, I'll just make that noise and let that be the end of that. Okay. So it says, for whom because you think about King David. Yeah, King David didn't get put to death, but King David, the Lord took his son. You read that story, King David, he was fasting and he was praying several days in the hope that his son would survive. But because you really got to consider that also, right? Not only did, wait the period 9 months, right? Woman's pregnant, whatever. Then she's given birth, and she could die giving birth, this, that, and the other. You go through all of that stress for then the baby to be ill. Right, you've done all of that for 9 months, whatever, what have you. The proof, then you still have to do the purification, this, that, and the other, only for the child to die. Yo, that's cold. The Most High, the Most High didn't let that. People might try and make it seem like that. The Most High didn't deal in terms of punishment for that act of adultery. That was punishment, man. Right? So for us in this thing, we might do something small and, we feel the heat. Whereas these people in the world, they're doing all manner of wickedness, right? And they're just seemingly getting away with it. But why? That's because they're not loved of the Most High. They're not being chastened of the Most High, right? So when we see people making mockery of the Most High, making mockery of the name of the Most High, right? And not getting punished by it, this is the Most High, don't love them. Well, because if he did, he'd smack them right into line, and then they wouldn't make the jokes and the comments that they would make, right? But the Lord has an agenda, right? To destroy a whole load of people, right? In fact, let me grab this real quick. It's Amos 9 and 10. All the sinners of my people shall die by the sword, which say, the evil day shall not overtake nor prevent us. So all the sinners, all they that do wickedly of the children of Israel, the Lord Yahweh Hashem Yahushua has a hit on them. And it may not be today, it may not be tomorrow, right? It may not be up until the very end, up until the time of the missiles, which I forgot what Apostle said. Hey, the Most High really hates you, man. Because you survived Jacob's trouble, you survived the famines, you survived the riots, only to get destroyed by a missile. Man. Okay. So let me finish this. Hebrews 12 and 7. It says, if ye endure chastening, the Most High dealeth with you as with sons. For what son is he whom the Father chasteneth not? But if ye be without chastisement, whereof all are partakers, then are ye bastards and not sons. So, not being judged for the things that you do, then you use a bastard, right? So all of these people make a mockery of the Most High. They're just bastards, not being punished for it. They're just bastards, man. Right? I'm waiting for the day that the Most High, Yahweh Hashem Yahshua, comes and judges them. So this is Ecclesiastes 8:11 again, because sentence against an evil work is not executed speedily. Therefore, the heart of sons of men is fully set on them to do evil, and they'll continue doing their evil. Because it seems like there ain't no judgment for their wickedness. So their natural assumption is, well, that Bible isn't real then, because blah, 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 blah. Right? Hey, but the Lord is just letting everyone rack up their tabs. Okay, cool. Just rack up your tab. Rack up your tab. Right? And at the end of the night, the bill needs to be paid. It's Ecclesiasticus, book of Sirach, verses 5 and 4. Chapter 5, verse 4, rather. It says, say not, I have sinned. What harm hath happened unto me? Right? Because that's sort of like that. You have a child, right? The parent says, the father says, don't eat that particular thing. Then the child, what does he do? Being willful, goes, he eats whatever it is that they were told not to eat. And then he sees that, oh, nothing happened to me. So what's he going to do? He's going to carry on eating. And after a while, he's going to be bold with it. Until one day the dad comes and he beats the shit out of that child. He says, didn't I tell you not to eat? And that's what's happening right now. You have a load of people who are sinning, and then they're saying, what harm hath happened unto me? Now, they might be getting jacked up, but because they're not spiritual, they're not putting two and two together. Like you might have an abuser of themselves, of mankind, right, getting this ailment, that ailment, going into hospital for this, hospital for that, and they ain't putting it down to the fact that it's because of what they're doing that they're going through these things. Okay, so to finish off the verse, right, I'll read it from the top again. It says, say not, I have sinned, and what harm hath happened unto me? For the Lord is long suffering, he will on no wise let thee go. Right, so okay, cool, carry on doing what you're doing. But the Lord's not forgetting. In fact, the Lord's the one that's making you do these particular things. So Romans 14:11, for it is written, as I live, saith the Lord, every knee shall bow to me, and every tongue shall confess to God. Okay, so what this is going into right now, we can have all of these debates, whether God exists, whether he doesn't exist, the Most High exists, whether he doesn't exist, what his real name is, what his real name isn't, what the real doctrine is. We can have all of these debates, but at the end of the day, right, in that time, right, when Yahweh Hashem Yahushua when Yahushua returns, right, by sanction of Yahweh, right, when Yahushua returns, none of these arguments are going to be having had. All of those people that spoke in vain of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, they're gonna be trembling, they're gonna be in fear, because they're gonna remember all of the things that they said, and they're gonna be judged for all of the things that they said. Right? So yeah, like I said, it was a bit longer than I expected it to be. I expected it to be a real, short one, but as always, Lord's what I was edifying. Till next time, Shalom.